All right, guys, let's go through our 4 problems on the 7.3 worksheet. So let's take a look at number 1 here. We're supposed to state if the triangles in each pair are similar. So it's a yes or no question off the bat. But if it's yes, you've got to tell them how we know they're similar. We learned 3 ways to do that, and then complete the similarity statement. So remember, the 3 tests that we learned for similarity for triangles were angle, angle similarity, 2 pairs of congruent angles. We had side, angle, side similarity. That would be if you had 2 pairs of corresponding sides that were proportional, and then the pair of included angles would have to be congruent. And the last one we learned was side, side, side similarity, which would apply if you had 3 pairs of corresponding sides that were proportional. So as we take a look at this problem here in number 1, the first thing I noticed is that we were not given any side lengths in these triangles at all. We don't know how long KJ is or AC or anything like that. And with no side lengths, I can pretty much rule out right away side angle side similarity and side 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 similarity. I can't test for proportionality among my sides if they didn't give us the lengths of any sides. So the only thing we could possibly use to prove these triangles similar is angle angle similarity. We need to see if these 2 triangles have any pairs of congruent angles. So let's take a look at the diagram. Well, the first thing we've all probably noticed is the tick marks that are given here for angle K and angle B. So that's 1 pair of congruent angles. And the other one wasn't given to us, but it's something we learned way back at the beginning of this year in geometry, probably within the first week or 2 of school. We've got 2 intersecting lines here crossing in the middle, and that creates what are called vertical angles. So angle KAJ is automatically congruent to angle CAB down here on the bottom. I want to say this was the very first theorem we learned all year, theorem 2.1. that said that vertical angles are congruent to each other. So, right there, everybody, there are the 2 pairs of congruent angles that we needed. So, the answer to this question here is yes. These 2 triangles are similar, and they are similar by angle-angle similarity. All right, got it. Now, they also said complete the similarity statement. So let's look at what's going on right here. They're telling us now that triangle ABC, so they started at the middle, they went to angle B, and then they ended at angle C, would be similar to triangle. Well, remember now, the order in which we name these angles in the second triangle needs to match up with the order in which they were named in the first triangle. So angle A in the triangle on the bottom is this angle right here with 2 tick marks. Well, in the triangle on the top, the angle with 2 tick marks is also angle A. Then they went next to angle B, and angle B, I wrote over it, sorry, was this angle right here. That was the angle given to us with 1 tick mark. So up on the top, the angle with 1 tick mark is angle K. And then they ended with angle C right here, the angle with no tick marks. So up on the top, the angle with no tick marks is J. So this right here, everybody, is what we call a similarity statement. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle AKJ by angle-angle similarity. And hey, what do you know? That's the same answer that they came up with there. Okay, so 2, 3, and 4 should work pretty much the same way. Actually, I believe 5 through 8 work in kind of a similar manner. So let's take a look at what's going on with number 5 here. Now, unlike number 1, no tick marks were given to us. However, we once again have 2 intersecting lines, and that's going to create another pair of vertical angles right here. Angle BDC is congruent to angle VDU. So that's 1 pair of congruent angles, but I don't think we have enough information to say that angle B is congruent to angle V or that angle C is congruent to angle U. So I don't think that angle-angle similarity is going to work here because we only have 1 pair of congruent angles. But I do see that 1, 2, 3, 4 sides were given to us here, and that makes me think that we can check to see if there's a proportional relationship between those 4 sides. So let's take a look at how this would set up. I'm going to go ahead and begin with the 25 up here in the first numerator just because that's the number that's in the top left. Now, the 25 is the longer side in the triangle on the top compared to the 18. That means that the 25, and you got to be careful because sometimes this number goes with this one here and sometimes this number goes with this one over here. Just remember though that the 25 is the longer number on top, so it needs to go with the longer number down on the bottom, which would be 8. And then we'll go with the shorter numbers for the second ratio. The shorter number on top is the 18, and the shorter number in the denominator, the bottom triangle there, is a 7. Now right now, guys, I really shouldn't have put an equals sign here yet. There really should be a question mark right there. We don't know if these two ratios are proportional or not. So the way we're going to do that is cross multiply. We're going to multiply 25 times 7, and then we're going to find out if that's equal to 18 times 8. And I've got a feeling looking at these numbers, this is not going to work out. 25 times 7 in my calculator gives me 175. The 18 times 8 is going to get us 144. So again, there really should be an equal sign with a question mark right there. What we now see is that these cross products are not equal, and that means that we do not have a proportional relationship between our corresponding sides. So I was hoping this one was going to work out with side angle side similarity. That was kind of my thought when I looked at the problem, but you can't force it, guys. Because this relationship here did not work out, we would have to say that these two triangles here are not similar because their corresponding sides were not proportional. Okay, that's number 5. Let's take a look at number 9. Now, in this problem here, they're asking you to find a missing length. So again, they've used a question mark where most of us usually prefer just to put an X. And it does tell you now what it should have said at the beginning. The triangles in each pair are similar. So let's take a look at what's going on. In these two triangles, we were given one angle measure here, a 104-degree angle and another 104-degree angle. And not surprisingly, those are congruent. And then we've been given two pairs of sides, 36 and 24 on the bottom, 6 and X on the top. So as you look at this and think about the 3 different ways to prove that triangles could be similar, you should be able to figure out which one of these 3 we're going for. With only one angle measure given to us and 2 pairs of sides, we're going to be going for side angle side similarity. Not enough info to show angle angle, not enough to show side side side. Now they tell you already that the triangles are similar, so we know that this side angle side relationship holds. The 104 are your pair of congruent included angles, and that means that the remaining sides around those 104-degree angles have to be proportional. So here's what I would tell you to do. Pick a side up on the top, and I think we'll go ahead and we'll go with the 6 on the top right there. And then ask yourself which side on the bottom looks corresponding with the 6. Now I hate to do this, but we don't really have any other options. I'm going to ask you guys in the top triangle, which side appears to be longer, the 6 or the X? And I think as we look at it, the 6 looks like it's the longer side. That means that the 6 would have to go with the longer side down here, which is 36. Now we move on to the shorter sides. The shorter side on the top triangle we're calling X. The shorter side on the bottom triangle is 24. So that's our proportion. Let's cross multiply now. 36 times X is just going to give us 36X. And 6 times 24 should be 144. We're going to divide both sides here by 36, and we're going to end up then with X is equal to 4. Hey, and how about that? That's the right answer. Okay, so that's number 9. And our last one here that I'm going to do together with you guys is number 13. And this is one, again, solve for X, and they do tell you that the triangles in each pair are similar. So once more, we've got vertical angles here drawn in the middle. So we know we've got one pair of congruent angles, and then we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 side lengths given, 2 in each triangle. So this is actually going to look a lot like the last one. If these triangles are similar, then their corresponding sides must be proportional. Okay, so let's go with we'll mix things up. We'll do the small side now. The small side in the top triangle has a length of 15. The small side in the bottom triangle has a length of 6. Now we'll move on to the longer sides. The longer side on the top triangle has a length of 5x plus 5, and the corresponding long side in the bottom triangle has a length of 12. So there is our proportion, and now we need to cross multiply here. Again, I like to do the one with the variable first. So this is going to be a 6 multiplied by 5x plus 5, but because that's a binomial, we have to remember to put that in parentheses. And that is going to equal 15 times 12. Okay, let's go ahead and distribute this 6 now. 6 times 5x is 30x. 6 times 5 is just going to be 30 equals, and a 15 times 12 is going to be 180. Okay, 2 steps, and I think we got it, guys. We're going to subtract a 30 from both sides here, and that is going to get us 30x is equal to 150. And the last thing we need to do then is divide both sides by 30. That all cancels out, and sure enough, we're going to get the correct answer here, that x is equal to 5. Okay, so that covers number 13. That means you guys have a grand total of 12 problems left to do on the 7.3 worksheet. Give those a shot, and if you have any questions, the best place to ask them is in the comments section underneath this particular assignment. And if you have any questions there, I'll work those problems out and I'll post that video as well. Good luck.